Hurricane Melissa is disrupting flights in and out of the Caribbean. The Norman Manley Airport in Kingston, Jamaica closed last night at 9 o'clock. The Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay is still open for now, but will close at noon this afternoon. So how can travelers best navigate trips to the Caribbean during the hurricane season? And during this hurricane specifically, Lauren Gumport, Vice President of Communications and Brand at Faye Travel Insurance, joins us now to discuss. Lauren, thanks for joining us this morning. You know, it's kind of a bit of a scary time for a lot of folks maybe that are traveling. Airlines are waiving changes and cancellation fees for travelers heading to Jamaica because of Hurricane Melissa. How common are these types of policies during the storm season?
Yeah, it's a great question. Obviously, super valid for right now. And the short answer is that every airline really has their own policy when it comes to softening change and cancellation fees. So when a storm or a hurricane like Hurricane Melissa is threatening a destination, in this case, flights to and from Jamaica, airlines often issue travel waivers or they update their policies for the affected routes. And this, of course, allows passengers to change their flight without paying the usual change fee, cancel or rebook with more flexibility, sometimes avoid paying a fare difference when switching to another flight. And, you know, this is because disruptions are largely beyond the airline's control, and they hopefully want to maintain goodwill and avoid stranded passengers.
Yeah, definitely. And that's good to know for a lot of folks that do plan on traveling, especially in the coming days here. What should people keep in mind if they're planning trips to the Caribbean or other tropical destinations that could be impacted by weather at any time?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, the potential of extreme weather now and also anytime is one of the many reasons to purchase travel insurance. I would say one important thing to note is the timing of when you purchase your policy. It really matters because if a storm has already been named a hurricane before you buy a travel insurance policy, it's considered a foreseeable event. That means you won't be covered for hurricane-related issues if you purchase a policy after the storm is named. So, of course, being well informed about your travel insurance policy, staying up to date on all of the updates that airlines are providing. They usually have pages on their websites dedicated to this. And I would also say bake in some buffer time. If you know that you could be delayed for extreme weather or delayed in general, do not have a tour booked on day one of your vacation. Save that for day 2 or 3 just to bake in that unknown.
Yeah, those are some great tips there for sure. And I was curious as well, you know, for those that are still going to be traveling during this time, what are some best practices for travelers when it comes to staying flexible, not only with, you know, kind of preparing for a little bit of longer waits, but whether that's through airline alerts, travel insurance, monitoring forecasts, what do you recommend people do?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, I would also say to always pack a change of clothes in your carry-on if your luggage doesn't make it to your destination, but you do. My mom and I recently went to Norway. She made it. Her bag didn't. She was borrowing my clothes. Always really a great rule of thumb for any trip. In terms of your travel insurance policy, again, being informed. For example, with Faye, our travel insurance policy can help cover trip interruption and cancellation if a hurricane renders your destination uninhabitable. That means you qualify for reimbursements for up to 100% of your non-refundable trip costs, like flights and hotels. And of course, doing your research to see if your travel insurance policy has a 24/7 support team to help you through a crisis. Severe weather, it does not abide to normal business hours, so that is super crucial.
No, definitely something that we have to learn as travelers. Yeah, and I have done the forget to actually pack clothes in your carry-on thing, and I have lost my luggage. So that is a good tip.
We've all been there. We have all been there.
It's the worst. So that's a really good tip that people should remember always, for sure. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for all of the great advice. We really appreciate it. Lauren Gumport, thanks for joining us again.